Hi students, how are you? We were discussing about the various steps of agricultural practices. And what is the first step? First step is preparation of soil. And after preparing the soil, second step is sowing. And after sowing, third step is adding manures and fertilizers. Today, we can study the fourth step. And the fourth step is irrigation. So the fourth step is irrigation. So what is irrigation? We know plants need water for their growth. So in rainy season and all, they will get enough water from the rain. But in summer season and all, availability of water from the ground, it will be less. So we want to supply water artificially for the better growth of plants. So the process of supplying water artificially for the better growth of plants, that process is called irrigation. So the process of watering the plants artificially, that is called irrigation. So we know all living things need water for their growth. So now we are studying about the plants. So plants also need water for their growth. And the plants, nearly 90% of the plants contain water. And we know plants absorb water from the soil. So the roots of the plants will absorb water from the soil. So along with water, they are absorbing nutrients and fertilizers also. Then what happened to the water that is absorbed from the soil by the root? From the root, it is carried to the leaves. And using that water, leaves prepare food. And that process is called photosynthesis. Okay. So, what about dry seeds? You know, dry seeds, if you store it for so many years, it will remain like that itself. But you have studied sprouting the seeds, no? In 6th standard, how we sprout a seed? First day, we should keep it in, soak it in water. Then second day, take it, remove the water and cover it with a wet cloth. And after second day, you can see all the seeds are sprouted or the seeds are germinated. So for the germination of seeds need water. Okay, so after sowing the seeds, if you are not pouring water, what happens? Seeds won't germinate. So for germination of the seeds, they need water. So after sowing, we want to irrigate the fields. And after germination also, for the better growth of plants, their plants need water. Plants need water. So we want to irrigate our fields. And again there is another point, that is water will protect the plants from frost and hot air currents. So what is frost? Frost you can see in very cold conditions, some white crystals of ice, and that is called frost. So it is frost is present during very cold climate. So how water protect the plant from this frost? During very cold climate, the water in the plant. So the water in the plant will change into ice, or it will change from liquid state into solid state. So the water will change into ice or change from liquid to solid state. And when it is changing from water into ice, it releases some energy in the form of heat energy. So when the water changes into ice, it releases some energy in the form of heat energy. So the plant will get some heat. It is very cold climate. At that time, the water changes into ice and release some heat and gives some heat to the plants. Okay, so their water is protecting the plant from frost. Then how the water protect the plant from hot air currents? Do you remember the process of transpiration? What is transpiration? It is the process of removing water from the plants. through the holes called stomata on the leaves, removing the water in the form of water vapor. So the process of giving out water in the form of water vapor through the leaves of the plant is called transpiration. You have studied in 7th standard. And when transpiration takes place, water is changing into water vapor. So water into water vapor. So for changing water into water vapor, they need water. When water is heated, water will change into water vapor. So when water is heated, water will change into water vapor. So when heat energy is there, water will change into water vapor. So at the surface of leaves, water will reach the surface of leaves. When they reach the surface of the leaves, they will absorb some heat from the plant. And using that heat, that water will change into water vapor and gets evaporated. So it is very hot climate, very hot. So now the water is absorbing some heat from the plant. So some heat from the plant is gone, so that it will keep the plant cool. Okay, so how the plant helps how water helps the plant during hot air currents. During hot air currents, it will keep the plant cool, and during frost, it will keep the plant hot also. So that the water protect the plants from frost and hot air currents. Okay. So we want to irrigate the plants. And what is irrigation? It is the process of supplying water artificially for the better growth of plants. And the time and frequency of irrigation, that is different for different crops. Some crops need more water, some crops need less water. So the time and frequency is different for crop to crop. And it is different for soil to soil. Some type of soil absorb more water, some can hold more water. So based on the soil also, the time and frequency of irrigation is different. And it is different in different seasons also. Some season more irrigation is needed, some season less irrigation is needed. And what about the irrigation during summer season? We want to irrigate more during summer season. Why? In summer season, rate of evaporation is more because it is very hot. So if there is some amount of water in the soil, faster it will be evaporated. And transpiration through the leaves also. Water will be evaporated fast from the surface of the leaves through the process of transpiration also. So in summer season, evaporation is very fast. So more water is lost from the soil and from the surface of leaves. So we want to irrigate more during summer season. Okay. Now there are so many methods for irrigating the fields. So there are some traditional methods and there are also some modern methods. And this traditional methods, first we can study about the traditional methods. Traditional methods. These traditional methods, that is cheaper, less costly, but they are less efficient also. And the different traditional methods are, one is motte. It is also called as pulley system. It is also called as pulley system. And another method is chain pump. Chain pump. And third method is called Dekli. And the fourth method is Rahat. So which are the different traditional methods? Motte, chain pump, Dekli and Rahat. So now we can look how these different methods are. So the various traditional ways are motte, chain pump, Dekli and Rahat. So first we can look at the working of a motte. It is also called as pulley system. So a motte system is one of the simplest and cheapest irrigation system. In this, water is drawn from a well or a water source by a bucket attached to a rope. The rope is passed over a pulley and other end is fitted to an animal. So here there will be one animal and it is tied to an animal. The animal walks down away from the well. So when the animal move away, what happens? The water from the bucket from the well will come up along with water. Then the water is emptied into a channel and the fields by a man and the fields are irrigated. Next is Deckley. So in Deckley system of irrigation, water is drawn from a water source with the help of a log of wood placed on a fork-shaped tree for support. Okay, so it is kept on a fork-shaped tree. A wood or log is kept on a fork-shaped tree. And the log is tied to a large stone which acts as a lever. So one end is tied, a large stone is tied to one end of the log. A bucket is tied to other end of the log. So here you can see a bucket. During irrigation, the rope tied to the bucket is pulled down so that the bucket goes into water. So this bucket will go down into the water and fills up with water, and the bucket fills up with water. The bucket is again drawn up by pulling up the rope. So when this rope is pulled down, with the stone is pulled down, water happens, the bucket will come up. The water is then collected by a man and it is poured into the channel. Next is the Rahat system of irrigation. It involves two wheels, one placed vertically over a water source. So here there will be a well or a pond or any one water source, and above this water source the first wheel is kept above the water source. And the other one is placed horizontally at a distance. So this is the next one. It is placed horizontally. And a bunch of buckets is fixed to the first wheel. You can see so many buckets are fixed to the first wheel. And an ox or a buffalo is tied to the other one. So the other one, an ox or buffalo is tied. And this animal moves the wheel around in a circular motion. This animal moves around like this. So it moves the wheel around in a circular motion. And this one is connected to the first wheel. So when this animal moves in a circular motion, the first wheel also will move. And the first wheel with so many buckets, when it is moving, when this bucket comes down, the bucket will dip into the water and it will be filled with water. Then it moves up, and when it reaches here, what happens? Water will fall down into the field. Again that empty bucket will reach here. Again it will be filled with water, go to the top, and the water will fall down into the field. Okay, so the first wheel with a bucket which draw water from the water source and it will irrigate the. And which are the sources of irrigation? The sources of irrigation are dams, wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, etc. Now we can look which are the modern methods of irrigation. So these modern methods of irrigation help us to use water economically. It is costly, but it requires less time and labor. Okay, other one is cheaper, but it is less efficient, traditional method. But modern method is costly, but it requires less time and labor. And the two modern methods are sprinkler system. So modern methods are, first one is sprinkler system. And the second method is drip irrigation. So sprinkler system and drip irrigation. So we can look how they work. The modern methods of irrigation are sprinkler system and drip system. In sprinkler system we can see so many perpendicular pipes are there, and at the tip of these perpendicular pipes we can see some nozzles, and the water flows out through these main pipes and reaches the nozzles. When it reaches the nozzles, it sprinkles out through the nozzles, and these nozzles can rotate. So when they rotate, water will sprinkle all around the field like rain. So the sprinkler system is very useful for sandy soil. And the next type modern method is drip system. And in this system, we can see water falls down drop by drop at the position of the roots. So it is called drip system. So we can see pipes are pipe connection is there near throughout the field, and so for the pipes near the roots there are some holes, and when water flows through the pipes through the holes, drop by drop water will flow to the near the roots of the plant. So here water is not wasted at all, and this system provides water to the plants drop by drop. And this is a very good method in the regions where the availability of water is very